here about work that's going on right now. And I'm wondering whether the Contemporary Art Museum, when it does open, whether somebody should tell them to scrap all of that work or put it into a pack room or something and start now.
Start now what?
Start now with the contemporary collection of work that is happening now.
But still, the work that is happening, of course there are exceptions, and I think that this crisis we are passing through, it helps. Well, I'm not glad to say that, but it may help. Let's say may helps. But otherwise, the contemporary art scene is a continuous karaoke art. Like it is also the contemporary art scene in Central Europe or Western Europe as well. I was in Belgium right now and I visited exhibitions. I even slept into a house, a loft of a friend of me that was organizing a quite big exhibition in all over the building. And what I saw, it was pieces that it's like, you know, the remixing at YouTube. Pieces that reminds you another piece, another song that reminds you another song, and another song, and another song. This contemporary thing, in any way, it's a karaoke art. Someone looks what the other artist is doing and who is more or less successed, and then he copies and goes on. But the same thing happens here. It happened in the 90s, it happened before the crisis, it still continues to happen, with exceptions. But this is a general problem of art. I mean, in Australia, why you don't have contemporary art? Why you are not, you are a continent. You are a rich continent. I mean, it's not money the problem. Because in Greece, one could say that there are very few collectors. There are no money. It's just a 10 million country, country, yes. And maybe the money is the problem. No, it's not the money.
No, it's the 12th biggest economy in the world.
Yes. Australia has no other art to show to the world, putting apart the copy-paste of the New York scene of 80s or the British scene of 90s, except the Aboriginals that are exploited.
Yeah, I think
so the problem has to do with politics first. It's not cultural. Has nothing to do with talent, education. Of course, education and talent is some kind of factors, but art was always framed into a political, a vaster political.
How much do you think the problem is also one of PR and advertising? Because I know that there are, I went to an exhibition this morning, just in the street across here, of an American artist who was Greek, Bengalis.
Linda Bengalis.
Yes, who is quite well known. You know,
since 70s.
Yeah, and
the feminist discourse.
And books and so on. So it's an import-export PR problem, it seems to me, because there's a lot of Australian artists who are working all around the world, and also in Australia or New Zealand. There are lots and lots of very, very good artists. But I think it's a question of exposure and where they come on the league table, like a football league table in the art industry, hegemony, you know. So to what extent do you think that also is the case with Greek artists? Are a lot of Greek artists working outside of Greece, or they're working inside of Greece and they travel? Because this is sort of getting towards my point about nomadism as a phenomenon.
Yeah. What exactly is the question?
Well, the question is, to what extent is the notion of a master created by one of PR and advertising, or is it purely a conceptual, ideas-driven, intellectual idea about the so-called development of innovation?
There are no contemporary masters anyway now.
So the term is now defunct?
The term of master has absolutely no meaning, at least at the period that we call postmodern.
Right, so it's a modernist framework.
It's in a world of art, of culture, dominated by the market, with what you say, PR, advertisement and all this stuff. Even the creation of a master is something artificial, something that has no meaning, because it has to be all the time updated. Like the same way you update your flash player at your computer, every 2 months you need an update. The same way we have updates into the market of the postmodern art environment. In a world of a permanent update, experience, which the very definition of the master, doesn't count. So how do you want to have a master?
So the construction...
Even with PR, okay, you have a little masters here and there that they shine for 1 year and then they disappear.
So the Damien Hirsts...
The Damien Hirst is not a master.
Or the Jeff Koons?
Yes, they are not masters. They are just famous people. There is a difference between to be a master. Could you call Jeff Koons, for instance, Delacroix?
I don't know.
It would be ridiculous. In which sense? Delacroix, at least, and not the only one, there were other masters of the period, created a narrative for a long period, still run this narrative. Jeff Koons and Damien Hirst, what kind of narrative they created into the art world? They created the narrative of such and such. And that's not art, that's business, that's stock market. Okay, if you want to talk about an artist that is a master of the stock market, like Jeff Koons, that he bought the rights of Mickey Mouse in New York and blah blah blah, and then he created the first big sculpture, or Damien Hirst, that he buys his own pieces back and he plays with the stock market. Then yes, we have masters, but these masters are at a different place, not in art. They are at the stock market, at the financial business. And nowadays, I mean, it's funny, because artists, they talk like bankers, and bankers, they talk like artists. So where are the masters?
So